Hello, I'm Giles Andre. I'm a trustee of the UCL Cancer Institute Research Trust, and I'm here today in the heart of London at the Cancer Institute to introduce you to the work that they carry out here. The UCL Cancer Institute Research Trust supports the work of the UCL Cancer Institute, which is the cancer research facility of University College London, which is ranked as one of the top universities in the world. The UCL Cancer Institute does three things. It conducts basic research, including research into what actually makes cells grow. It conducts translational research, turning scientific discovery into treatment and into therapy. And it also conducts clinical research.
One of the great strengths of the Cancer Institute is the range of research we do into the area of cancer. So we start by looking at the fundamental design principles of cancer, and we do that in our basic science laboratories. We then translate the insights we get from that kind of research into new treatments or new approaches for patients. And the final chain in this sort of range of research is to actually try those things out in clinical trials. So I think we're one of the very few institutes in the country, and indeed the world, that can really run that full range of research from the very basic to right through to the bedside.
The money that we raise for the Institute at the Research Trust goes towards funding scientists to conduct their research, funding clinicians to conduct clinical research and clinical trials, and funding essential pieces of equipment. So I'm with Dr. Alan Green here at UCLH. This is the latest piece of equipment that we've funded. It's essentially an imaging machine. Dr. Green, will you tell us exactly what it does and why it's so important?
Well, this machine allows us to make much more accurate measurements, both of the radiation dose to the normal tissues and the radiation dose to the tumour, which will allow us to calibrate much more accurately the amount of activity we inject into the patient, so that we have a much greater chance of treating their tumour without causing them significant side effects.
The Cancer Institute is constantly conducting research into a wide variety of cancers, but we have had particular success recently with blood cancer, including leukemia and lymphomas, with brain cancer, and with children's, teenage and young adult cancer.
So my own laboratory focuses primarily on childhood leukemia, and a few other childhood-related disorders. We do that because obviously diseases in children have a profound social impact. But we also do it because it turns out that diseases in children are often genetically simpler than diseases in adults. So in a way, childhood leukemias have become a prototype for which to understand how cancer is organised and how cancer develops.
We are also at the forefront of developing personalised cancer medicine, whereby the individual makeup of a specific patient's tumour is analysed and a programme of treatment can be put together that is individually tailored to that specific person and the makeup of their cancer.
Yeah, so a good example of the practical applications would be the sort of work I do, which is developing antibodies. And antibodies are tiny proteins which would naturally be made in the body to fight foreign organisms and invaders like bacteria. But in our case, we're making antibodies that react specifically to cancer. And so we can take the targets which are identified by the basic researchers, and we can use these to develop specific antibodies which react only with that target, and therefore they can just target to the cancer cell.
With the sequencing of the human genome, we're now beginning to really understand what cancer is and how complex it is. And at first this is a very daunting picture to actually be confronted with. But in reality, understanding what cancer is at the genetic level offers huge possibilities going forward in how we might ultimately treat cancer.
I hope we've shown you that everything we're doing here is working towards accelerating discoveries that have a significant impact on cancer care and that make a tangible difference to the quality of care that an individual can experience. So if you've been inspired by the work that we do here and would like to help us in the fight against cancer, please do get in touch.
We're absolutely on the right track now. We know where we're going, and we will get there.